welcome in. For those of you who's first time attending, and even those who have been here quite a few times, there's a lot to unpack today. We've got a bunch of new changes to the teams. So Sick is going to get the PowerPoint loaded up here, and we'll go through and we'll get started. Let's dive on in. If we can go to that next slide, Sick. All right, as always, our vision and values can be found on our website at vlrgaming.com. And if you click on the About Us page, you'll see everything about us, our mission, our statement, our rules, guidelines, all of that. We'll go ahead and go to that next slide. So again, welcome everybody. What is the Valor Town Hall? The Town Hall is a time for you to connect with the leadership team, stay informed on the latest community updates and everything that's going on, any upcoming events, giveaways, or important announcements that we have to share, and then kind of get a clear guidance on who to contact and where to go to find the right resources. And then at the end, you'll be able to ask any questions directly to the leadership team, give your feedback, anything like that. Go ahead and go to that next slide. For those of you who are not familiar with the Town Hall system, if you click on the little chat icon, there's a text chat in there. We would love to see your messages in there, even if it's just a wave, emote, hello. But also the mod team will be putting various links in there throughout. So you'll be able to see how to get to access to all of that. All right. If we're starting off with the executive leadership team, myself, Prophet, the CEO, I kind of handle and manage the day-to-day, just all of the various divisions. So community, content, esports, everything falls to me, making sure everything is in line, not providing ice cream for people. Unfortunately, we do not have ice cream. I'm going to ask the remaining members of the exec team to also introduce themselves, except for Jet. I'll just introduce her now because she's not available. Jet is our creative director. She manages all of our content teams and our social media, our stream team, all of that stuff. So Catastrophic, if you want to hop in.
Yep. So I'm Catastrophic. I'm the COO. I handle a lot of the business side, a lot of the behind the scenes things of that nature, like the shop, finances with Milk quite a bit, and just kind of the general day-to-day running of business side. Fel?
Oops, I'm Fel. I'm the esports director for Valor. I manage all of the rating teams, the Mythic Plus teams, and the PvP teams for Valor Gaming here. Looking to join our team. You have any questions? Always feel free to ask me.
Milk.
Hi, I'm Milk, CFO. I work pretty closely with Kata with the finances, behind the scenes stuff, taxes, all that good stuff. I also work with Fel for Guild Bank stuff to try to keep that up to date and whatnot. And then I also do some of the giveaway stuff. Yeah, so if you have any questions, just ask.
Awesome.
What he means to say is when he works with me for Guild Bank stuff, he's yelling at me for spending money.
Accurate. All right, we'll go to that next slide. So for those of you who are new, that slide not update. All right, that's fine. Why didn't it update? That's interesting. We'll go ahead and go through the rest of the leadership team. So we have Pitt, our operations coordinator. So he pretty much works really closely with me and the rest of the executive team on finding, anything that we can do to make the guild more efficient, the community more efficient, our teams more efficient. Kind of has his hand in a little bit of everything. Sparks, our human resources. So if you ever have, anything personal you need to share or advice or anything like that, she's always available. You can send her a DM or you can open up a ticket and talk to her. She's always there, always helpful. And then Sick, one of our community moderators, who's also behind the scenes running the slideshow right now. And then Cass, also our community moderator, plus our Mythic Plus teams manager, which we're going to get a little bit more into at a little bit later in this town hall. Des, our academy lead, so she manages all the mentors and everything, all the guides and everything with academy. Recon, our creative media lead, handles a lot of the graphics and the video editing for the game show and some of the other stuff that we have going on. Felix, our digital content and marketing lead, so he handles a lot of the social media and some of the merch that you're going to be seeing, as well as another content series to be named later. And then Nemo, our media and influencer operations strategist. He's going to be handling a lot of the stream team and a lot of the content that we have going out, as well as the pet battle tournament and a few other things. Hona, our partners manager, handles a lot of our sponsorship and partners, trying to get us some more benefits and perks for the community. Dank, our community recruiter, handles recruiting for just Valor in general, as well as all of our individual raid teams. And then welcoming in Ty and Tenzin as the GM and coach of Valor II, which we're going to, if you didn't see my post earlier, there's one in Valor News. We'll also get into a slide here in a little bit that goes over a lot of what that entails. And I'm sorry, Tenzin, that your image wasn't there. I'm not sure why that didn't show up. I do have it saved and I do see it on my end. So blame fell. All right, we'll go to the next slide.
Oh, I'll fight you.
Hashtag blame fell. Get it trending. I want to see it. So going over some open positions that we currently have. So community manager, we're looking for somebody who is passionate about, all things World of Warcraft, Valor, and gaming. This position would be, monitoring the moderators, monitoring the community, the Discord, playing a role with the executive team in organizing events and both in and out of game, the giveaways. You'll act as the main liaison between their community, the internal teams, and leadership, supporting in the direction of the moderators and the event coordinators. So if you're interested in that, please let us know. And then also an events manager who will be handling a lot of the community events, both in and out of game. One thing we want to get back to, which has been highly requested, is a lot of achievement runs, transmog runs, things like that. We really need an events manager who can manage all of that. If that's something that you think you're interested in, please let us know. We'll go over to the next slide. We're also looking for a bronze raid lead. If you're knowledgeable on WoW and looking to get into some kind of raid leadership position, the bronze team is focused on normal and progressing through heroic to get that AOTC achievement, but it's also a learning and training raid. So somebody that's patient, has wealth of knowledge across World of Warcraft and the various raids would be ideal for that position. And then, as always, we're looking for academy mentors, those that can help out with guides, answering tickets, be mentors for the members coming in that are newer to WoW or returning, or even our experienced WoW players who may have additional questions. If you are interested in either of those positions, you can open up a mod ticket or head on over to our vlrgaming.com/careers. Again, these are all volunteer positions, but if you're looking to get a foot in the gaming industry, this is a great first step. So we'll go over to the next slide. All right, so a couple of the event updates that we have. We've put the community keys, and after this past weekend, the community raid is now on hold until season 2. It'll be a little bit later into the season, as we did the last couple of seasons. We don't do it right out the gate, but as soon as those are available, we'll have those dates posted. And then the Guild Night and Chill, we're moving from Thursday to Sundays, so at 7 p.m. Eastern. Guild Night and Chill is a event that's designed around just hanging out in Discord, getting to meet your guild members and community members. If you want to form groups to get some weekly stuff done, before the reset, that's great. If you want to group up for other games, which a lot of us do, it's a great time to just hang out and get to know the members. We'll go ahead to that next slide. So again, actually, Pitt, did you want to hop in and talk about this one? You know the most about it. I got to find you here so I can invite you. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah, I can jump in. So Dank, being our community recruiter, is also trying to figure out why everybody is here, what you like, what you don't like. So he put together this survey for everyone that I'm posting in the chat now, that if you can just go along and fill that out so we can see what you like, what you don't like, so we can do more things, do different things. Just kind of get a feel of how everybody likes what we do around here, I guess.
Perfect. We'll go to the next slide. Thank you, Pitt. So a couple of guild updates. This one will affect pretty much everybody that's in the guild. So we're changing the roles around from what they currently are. So currently we have a specific raid, PvP, and Mythic Plus role. We're going to get more into detail about how this is going to work in a later slide, but now we'll have a tier 1 comp role, a tier 2 comp role, and then introducing a supporter role. So for those that are Discord supporters, you'll be getting this role in game as long as you are a subscriber to the Valor supporter role, which you can see at the top of the Discord under server shop. You'll have access to increased repair cost as well as a specific bank tab with some extra storage and things like that. And then all the other ranks will be staying as normal. And then the repairs per each of those roles will be announced just before Season 2 Raid and Mythic Plus season starts. We're still working on the details there, but we will have that out to you within the next week or so. We can go to the next slide. All right. So, as many as you saw my post earlier, I'd love to give a huge welcome to all of the Falsify members who are now coming in under Valor and taking over Valor 2, as well as some of you will be joining the original Valor 1 guild. There's a lot to unpack here, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions. So as part of our continued vision and growth for expansion, we've begun integrating Falsify into the second guild, Valor 2. This marks a major milestone for Valor's journey. This gives us an opportunity to work with another guild, bringing them under our umbrella and everything that has worked for us, and gives us that vital experience so that hopefully we can continue to do this later on. I want to make it super clear here that we've had other guilds approach us in the past, and it's not just about bringing in members. It's about bringing in members that make sense. We spent almost a month talking back and forth with Falsify, and it was super clear that our mission and our vision aligned perfectly. Everything that Valor represents, Falsify also represents. So the fit was perfect, and it just made the most sense for both of us to acquire them, bring them in. This also allows us, Valor 2 right now has just been a home for our alts, but this allows us additional leaders to run that side of the community, so that second guild, and making it more than just an alt storage. We now have, a whole bunch of members in there, and we'll begin recruiting for that guild as well to make it full functioning just like Valor 1. The Valor 1, Valor 2 name is probably going to change once we have some time to review some options. I want to make it also super clear this isn't just two separate guilds. It's one big guild. It's just because we're at our cap on our main one, this gives us the opportunity to add another 1,000 characters into Valor. So we'll have that second guild. And then we're also going to work on a tutorial, but most of you probably know how to do this already. But if you join our BattleNet group, you'll be able to use that chat in game to communicate cross guild. So it won't matter if you're in Valor 1 or Valor 2, you'll be able to talk to everybody, form those groups, which obviously we encourage. And then this also allows us to have a couple additional raid teams, ideally more Mythic Plus and PvP teams as we, get this going. I'm going to bring Ty in to introduce himself. And Tenzin, you're more than welcome to after as well. If somebody can add Ty to the speakers.
You got him.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, Ty, all yours. Take as much time as you need.
So I guess a little introduction to me and WoW. My name's Tilia, but I go by Ty mostly because nobody could pronounce Tiliandris properly.
Same.
I started playing WoW at the end of Legion, and I immediately fell in love with raiding. And Taurus is still to this day my favorite raid. During BFA, I finally got invited to a guild because I thought I was one of those cool solo players. I loved anime. But after a little bit, I was eventually promoted to our normal raid leader, which was fun for the time. But eventually I wanted more of a challenge, so I found my first Mythic guild, which was a huge improvement for me as a player because I actually learned how to play my class at a high level. Fortunately, eventually we disbanded and I found the guild that has been my home for years. I still talk to a lot of them. And eventually I was able to get my first ever cutting edge with N'Zoth, which if you haven't seen that fight, 18 minutes is a long fight. It's not fun. But eventually during Shadowlands, due to some IRL stuff and all that, I decided to take a break from raiding. I still was able to get 7 out of 10 Mythic, which was still a challenge. But eventually, just because of IRL stuff, I stepped out. I played some M+, but wasn't too active. Coming into Dragonflight, I was invited to a guild and I met Des, and me and Des have been good friends ever since. I was eventually promoted to the heroic mythic raid leader, and then I had Des as my assistant raid leader. Due to some issues internally with the guild, we eventually left, and I took a major break for Dragonflight, in which I became an ESO player, reaching top 20 in PvP for 3 out of 4 categories, which was fun for the time being. But now with the War Within, I was invited by 10 to make our guild, and that's what we did. So that's where we were with that. And I guess for a little introduction to Falsify, we started the expansion as your typical heroic raiding guild. We wanted to get AOTC, maybe see a little bit of mythic, just get as much loot as possible. But unfortunately, during the beginning of the game, we noticed a lot of toxicity and hatred towards new players in particular and people returning. I was seeing a lot of people getting kicked from M0s, early M+, normal raids, even LFR, just because they didn't know a simple button or something. So Falsify swapped its focus to being entirely around helping new players, which we had actually a lot of success with. Currently, before our transition, Falsify finished with an AOTC for all of our raiders and a lot of pugs that we've met along the way. And we were successful enough to go into Mythic, which we went 1 out of 8 Mythic for the team. And yeah, I'm really excited to work with Valor. I've met everybody so far and I'm loving it.
Perfect. Thank you. We'll grab Tenzin as well. If you can invite. For some reason, it's not letting me do it.
I got him.
Perfect. And Tenz, if you want to introduce yourself, by all means.
And you'll just have to click the button to speak on stage. It sent you the invite.
Hates us confirmed.
Me too.
Maybe. All right. We'll just continue. So, already fitting in is true. Just to kind of go over how this is going to work. So, Ty and Tens will be taking over leadership of Valor II as the GM and co-GM. Instead of the traditional GM, we're just going to label them as general managers. They'll be handling the day-to-day for Valor II, reporting to myself and Fel and the rest of the executive leadership team. Other than that, nothing really changes. They'll have raid teams on Valor 2 that we'll be assisting with recruiting for. The plan right now is to get their teams' rosters sorted out. As most of you know, especially for anyone who's been in leadership, the amount of applications that we get on the weekly, we've turned away probably at least 10 teams worth of players just this season since the new expansion came out, just because we don't have room for them. So ideally, this will give us 2 more raid teams that we can fill up. And then once that is full, and then once the Valor 1, all the teams are good and all of their rosters are locked down, our plan is to just start base recruiting for Valor 2, just like we did Valor 1, until we get those numbers all the way up to cap like we do the main guild. Rules still won't change. If your characters are over 4 months, they will be removed for inactivity to make room for those that are active. So nothing really changes there. And then the plan will be, once we hit cap on both, and when we're at a place where we know, just removing a few people here and there isn't going to be enough anymore, we will likely start a Valor 3 of some sort, and that'll become the home for alts in the meantime until, ideally we rinse and repeat this process. So we're not quite sure how that looks just yet, but I'm excited to work with Ty and Tenzin and the rest of the leadership team on this process so that we can replicate it in the future, and not just for World of Warcraft. Ideally, we could move into some other MMOs, acquire some other guilds, bring them in, give them the resources and tools that we have. Ideally, every MMO out there except for Guild Wars 2. Yeah, exactly. I told Fel that the goal by the end of this is to get an email from Blizzard that says that they're just going to make a Valor realm for all of our guilds. Yeah, sorry, Guild Wars. Thank you, Mew. If we can go to the next slide, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions about Valor 2 once we get to the end of the town hall, as usual. So, Valor Academy. As most of you know, we announced new Academy leadership just over a month ago. So, for those of you who are just coming into Valor and the Falsify crew, Valor Academy is a comprehensive training initiative designed for players of all skill levels within our community. It helps newcomers by teaching them, game basics, guiding them through leveling, insights on add-ons, UI customization, Mythic Plus introduction to raiding. We've done introduction to tanking, PvP, various different guides along those lines, helping players optimize performance through log analysis, guiding them through the more advanced gameplay, as well in the various difficulties. Ultimately, the Academy aims to empower players to achieve their personal goals, giving them access to mentors and different guides and resources that we create on our own, so that we're not just linking Wowhead, things like that. There's plenty of resources out there. We're just streamlining it a little bit, making it a little more simple. If you're ever seeking help from our Academy team, you can give yourself the Academy role by clicking on the channels and roles. And then you can also enter a mentor ticket via the request help section of the Discord. And one of the mentors will hop in as soon as they're available. Typically how it works is we have mentors at different skill levels and different, things that they excel at. So once we have someone available, they'll grab that ticket and respond. We aim to respond to those within 24 hours at a very max. Usually it's within a couple of hours though. So if you're interested in joining the Academy team as a mentor, you can apply in the server guide section under apply for team and then just click Academy Mentor. We have plenty of roles open, lots of exciting changes that Des and team are working on. We're excited to get those out to you for the remainder of this expansion and then moving forward. We can go to that next slide, please. As well, Des is also available if you ever have questions that you'd like to ask her. By all means, please DM her. So just a few of the Academy updates that we have planned right now. So we're reworking and revamping the Academy system for Season 2 of The War Within. We're going to be doing a Welcome to WoW guide. Has all the basic info that a new player returning or coming into WoW for the first time would need. And then a Welcome to Valor guide as well, which kind of has all of our tools and resources and a little bit of an introduction to navigating our Discord, which I'm sure many of you, even if you've been here for a while, can appreciate and need. A pet battle workshop, so kind of like an introduction to pet battling, an intro to gold making, the overall overview of Season 2. We plan on doing all of these going forward for every season. So outline the changes for the season, things that are should be done prior to the season, and things you should watch for when the season starts. We're looking into the thought of Academy themed M+ teams, so kind of like training teams like bronzes for rating. Adding mentor roles that split into sub roles such as mentors, ticket, team writers, people that just answer tickets, sub roles from that include DPS mentors, healing mentors, and so on. This just makes it a lot easier on the members to know who to tag and leadership to know who to get to respond to specific tickets. There's a lot of other projects planned as well, and we'd love your continued feedback and ideas. So if you have those, feel free to DM Des or open up a mod ticket or even an Academy ticket if you have any suggestions for workshops, ideas, questions, anything at all. That's always available. If we can go to that next slide, Sick. All right, I'm going to bring Fel in to talk about some of our accomplishments through Season 1. There's way too many for us to include on one slide, but I'd personally love to give a huge shout out to all of the teams. Everybody hit most of their goals. Blue made strides compared to previous seasons. They are locked in and ready to go for Season 2. Really excited to see what they do. So please take it away.
Thank you, Prophet. So, Season 1 recap for our raid teams. Valor Blue, like Prophet said, hit a very, very strong stride this season in compared to previous seasons. Managed to go 6 out of 8 Mythic, and we skipped Queen Court Prog and went to Queen Prog, got to 48% Phase 2. We're making it to the 3rd platform with at least one of our sides alive, which was really, really good because that was the hardest part of the fight to really overcome, and we had very limited time to really prog on her. So very big kudos to Valor Blue for their continued effort and hard work. The team is looking for all exceptional raiders with deep mythic experience. So if you are interested in applying, please make sure to head over and submit an application. Valor Black, as a lot of you guys know, was a brand new team for season 1 of The War Within. They had a slightly delayed start for the season and a little bit of a bumpy mid-season, but they really buckled down and locked in and hit their goal of hitting mid-mythic at 4 out of 8 with a best pull of 75% on Kaiveza Prague. So big kudos to Valor Black. Thras leadership can't thank you enough for taking the helm and lead on that team and just building an amazing, phenomenal team. So thank you, Valor Black. Valor Silver managed to actually close out the season at 3 out of 8 Mythic with a 30% best pull on Rash. Valor Silver started off back in season 2 of Dragonflight and has continued to raid every single season. They had a little bit of a bumpy season at the very beginning, and the new leadership took over, really turned the team around. So big thank you to the original leads of Valor Silver and to the new leadership of Valor Silver. Both teams are currently recruiting as well, recruiting for Mythic experienced raiders with a high priority on DH for Valor Black. And Valor Silver is currently recruiting with a heavy emphasis on any Evoker spec. So if you are interested, same thing, please head over and apply via the server guides, and one of the team leads or our recruiter, Dank, will get back to you. Valor Bronze was also a new team this season. It is the team that was designed around helping new players learn to raid, returning players to get their feet wet again and kind of get into the flow of everything. It was designed to really just be a normal raid team, but the team really came together with support from other members of the guild, help teach people how to raid in a more structured environment. They ended up getting AOTC as well as a mythic boss kill this season. All new and returning players are always welcome to apply. Valor Bronze was probably the highlight of this season, in my opinion, for all of Valor's raid teams. They went way above and beyond their initial goal. So congratulations to Valor Bronze and the raid leadership for that team. You guys are all amazing. For Mythic Plus, Valor Celestials during the MDI time trials placed 47th overall out of over 750 teams. So big shout out to that team. Those guys didn't have a lot of time to really practice before time trials, and they still put up a huge fight during the time trials. Hopefully expect to see more progress in the future. They've sent in every MDI time trial that they've competed in, they've gotten better and better rankings. So maybe they'll be getting into actually the prelims, the qualifiers for time trials by getting a top 16 soon. Valor Ghost placed as our highest IO team with a score of 3070.3. So big kudos to Valor Ghost. I know you guys locked in after the little holiday break that everyone had and really buckled down and grinded out higher keys throughout the whole process. So big shout out to all of you guys on that team. Valor Onyx and Valor Ghost both placed 3rd place in their respective leagues for Tier 1 and Tier 2 DDI leagues. Valor Onyx has competed in every single Dungeon Dojo Invitational since Season 2, and they've always placed very high. I think their first DDI that they competed in, they placed 1st place, and then they've placed top 3 every season since. And Valor Ghost, I think it was their 2nd time running in the DDI. Season 4 was their 1st, and then this season, and they have consistently been a very high-performing team, so big shout out to you guys. Shout out to Hexasaur in Valor for being ranked number 7 in the world for all Pres Evokers with an IO of 4090. It's not confirmed yet, but that should be within title range. As well as a shout out to our mentor Rocco, or Nimbles, depends on how you know him as, for also hitting 3453. I know I was talking to him earlier. He has 2 keys set aside to push for getting 100% in title range before Tuesday cutoff. So big shout out to both of you guys, and if you guys both make title cutoff range, big congratulations on hitting title for M+. Huge. It is a very big accomplishment to hit top 0.1% in M+. This is like all 17s timed pretty much across the board. And I know for a fact there's no way I could do anything higher than like a 14. There's no shot. So these guys doing 17s is absolutely insane.
Yeah, a huge shout out to everybody who competed. I mean, there's no way we can, highlight everything, but again, another fantastic season by everybody. Excited for season 2. And if you want to go to that next slide, we'll dive into the changes.
Yes. So following up on the tier 1, tier 2 system that Prophet had touched on earlier with the town hall, we're going to be updating the entire structure by implementing a tier 1, tier 2 system. Tier 1 teams are going to be our Valor sponsored, dedicated competitive teams that are going to be competing in tournaments like the AWC, the MDI, DDI, stuff like that, with full backing from Valor. Both tier 1 and tier 2 teams are going to be getting their own set of benefits. Tier 2 teams being more structured around an environment where players don't have to compete as hardcore as they would on a competitive rate team or M plus team or PvP team, but having a structured environment to play with a dedicated group of people throughout the season. It's going to be, the tiers are determined based off the content difficulty and performance each season for teams, and as well as your performance in tournaments moving forward as well. The new system allows us to add more tier 2 teams because we were limited prior to being unable to continue just adding team after team after team due to the limited resources that we have. This allows us to effectively have an unlimited amount of tier 2 teams moving forward so that more people have a dedicated team to run with in the future, regardless of content that you're looking at. Some of the benefits highlighted here, both tier 1 and tier 2 teams are going to... Oh, I can barely read this. Sorry. Me adjust this. There we go. You'll be getting guidance from experienced competitive players. We have a very large network both inside the guild and outside of the guild to help players really learn to grow and be more competitive in the environment that they're in. Learn to use more resources, more tools to better yourselves as players. Structured environment, repair cost coverage. I know that's a big thing for a lot of people, especially for Raiders and Mythic Plus key runners. PvP, it still applies, but I know you guys don't repair as often as the guys running PvE content. Repair cost coverage is going to be included as well if you're on a tier 1 or tier 2 team, with tier 1 teams getting a slightly higher repair cost coverage. Flasks, potions, feasts, enchants, consumables like that, we're going to be covering for the tier 1 teams to ensure that when they are competing that they have everything that they need to really represent Valor on that high-end stage, as well as a lot of other features, and we will dive more into this in the future for closer to season 2 and early into season 2 to really outline everything that is both included and expected of both tier 1 and tier 2 teams.
Yeah, so like Phil said, this gives us the opportunity, kind of similar to the raids where we were turning away so many players. We could have probably filled 10 other Mythic Plus teams, but I don't think it's realistic to have all the teams set with the same kind of expectations because of different reasons that they want to be on a team. Many people just want to be on a team so that they're in a structured environment, have a set team that they can always play with, which is completely understandable, while others want to push, that more difficult and higher content. So this will give us the opportunity to have two tiers of teams with very different expectations, so we can support both types, as is our mission. Guild photo trudgy is going to be in Agal, so just shoot us a message in game. We'll get you added. We have a group. So is that everything that you wanted to cover? I think that's pretty much everything.
Yes, correct.
Before we go any further, does anybody have any questions on that? I know we normally do questions at the end, but for this one, we can jump in there. Oops. I just accidentally ignored somebody in game. I didn't mean to. I meant to invite. Oh. Can you have your own tier? No. How do I ignore somebody in game? I don't know how to do that. Oh, I figured it out. Never mind. We're good. All right. Well, if anybody thinks of anything, please, you can open up a mod ticket, send us a DM, or ask at the end of the town hall. Again, this system's going to evolve over time, so we're going to be working with everybody, just kind of like we did with the teams when they were initially introduced last expansion. And we'll go through this season, see what works, what doesn't work, get your feedback, and make changes off of that. If we can go to that next slide. All right, Fel, if you want to jump onto this one.
Yep. So, like I said earlier, based off of our rankings, with our guild being 6 out of 8 mythic, we are still ranked amongst the top 750 guilds out of over 750 guilds in NA to have rated this season in mythic, and we're proudly sitting at rank 33 on Thrall server. It would technically be higher, but because it's 6 out of 8 with Queen prog, it still ranks us in that same category of hey, you haven't hit 7 out of 8. A lot of guilds didn't get the chance to prog Queen, so being able to prog Queen and saying that you made meaningful prog on it is still a very, very big accomplishment. For Mythic Plus, our top 5 characters in the guild have an average rating of 3319.2, which is, I think, top 1% in all of NA, which is a huge, huge accomplishment. If you don't know how difficult M Plus is to get a rating that high this season, I think it was at least bare minimum all 16s or close to all 16s, which is crazy impressive. For PvP, top 3 PvP characters had an average PvP rating of 2414.7. So big shout out to the PvP guys. I know I see you guys online at night grinding away. So kudos to you to be able to do that. Top 20 character item levels is 639.2, placing us top 1,000 amongst all guilds across the world and top 250 in North America. 640 point something, I think, is cap. I don't think you can go any higher than that. For highest item level in the guild, Blitzwig has an impressive 640.19, which I think might actually be what the high end of that might is. Maybe it goes closer to 641, but not quite there. Like I said, Hexasaur, highest guild IO rating at 3490. Big shout out to you. Big Boy Barry has been maintaining his top spot as the top PvP rating at 2649. So congratulations on the continued top spot for PvP. And Lucky's Mage has also been maintaining the top spot for most achievement points in the guild month after month at 47,450. Last town hall, they were at 47,150. So to get another 300 points at that high of an achievement point rating is really, really impressive. And we are still ranked the highest for the number of registered guild members on Guilds of WoW. We are at 348, I want to say. So just a few more and we'll break top 350, break top 350 members. And we are more than double the next closest guild for registered members.
That's huge in so many ways. Sorry, can we go back a slide, Sick? I think we forgot to cover something for the team system that I want to make sure we go over. Spoilers.
Oh no.
15. Perfect. If you can just make this full screen again. So I wanted to cover the once per season starting in season 3. Ideally, we'd be able to do it in season 2, but I don't think we're going to have the time and resources just yet. So definitely starting in season 3. We're going to host an internal Valor tournament for Mythic Plus. We will likely do this for PvP as well, and some form of this for rating. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work yet. Where all teams will have an opportunity to compete for those tier 1 slots. So what we don't want to happen is a team come in as a tier 1 team and, season burnout happens, or, people start moving on to other games or taking breaks, things like that. It happens 100%, no issue there. Like we completely understand. But we also want to give those that do want to compete the opportunity to compete for those spots. So the exact amount of each type that we're going to have, we don't know yet. That's something Fel and I are meeting to discuss this week. But let's say for Mythic Plus specifically, for example, we're going to have 3 slots for tier 1 teams. Those 3 spots are not guaranteed. You will have to compete for those each season. So if you're not performing, or it's a competitive environment. So if you're not meeting those goals and requirements, then another team has that opportunity to do that from the tier 2 side. Hopefully that makes sense. We want to make sure everybody has the opportunity. We'll go ahead and go forward a couple slides. I just want to make sure we cover that, as well as hosting our own internal tournament, which we've done before. It gives people a chance to just be competitive, compete for those bragging rights. So we're excited for that. So speaking of tournaments, we're going to cover a little bit about the Pet Battle PvP for Season 2. So Season 2 of the Pet Battle Tournament is coming soon. For those of you who were here last season, we helped host the stream for this. We're going to do that again in Season 2. Super excited for that. We'll be working closely with Flip to make sure that all of that runs smoothly with updated graphics, images, new trophies, new pins, all of the same stuff that he had before moving into Season 2. The more information on that will be posted as soon as we have set dates for that event. For those of you who know Dez also helps out with the Pet Battle season, so would really love to have as much participation from the community as we can during this. Get some representation out there. We expect Valor #1 in the Pet Battle Season 2. It won't be me. I'm terrible at pet battling. If we can go to the next slide. So, Warcraft Rumble, for those of you who know, we also have a Warcraft Rumble guild who has successfully hit all goals every single season since the game was released. We do have some spots open in the guild if anybody wants to join. You can now play it on mobile and PC, so you don't have to just be on mobile to play. And then if you want to unlock that section to get an invite, just go up to the channels and roles and give yourself access to Warcraft Rumble. Rhino, who is our Rumble lead, again, successful seasons every single season since the game released. Can't ask for much more than that. Actually, we should probably do maybe some in-house. I don't know if can we do in-house tournaments for that game? I don't know how that would work. That would be pretty cool though. All right, we'll go to the next slide. All right, so following the same kind of system as our new system for our competitive teams, we're introducing a new stream team system, as well as they will be following a tier 1, tier 2 system. We're doing this for a couple reasons. We have a lot of people in the community who just enjoy streaming and sharing their content and hanging out with people. So we want to give them that opportunity. But for those who are looking for more career-focused streaming, we want to have an option for them as well. So we've been working behind the scenes with some potential partners on how this would work, as far as perks and benefits and things like that. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll be getting this out on the website for you to view as a list of some of the benefits, our follower requirements, the hours streamed per month. It's going to be a drastic difference between a tier 1 and a tier 2. So you don't just have to play WoW. If you stream anything at all, you're welcome to apply. Our kind of base requirements is to have Valor tag in the streamline and your stream title. Use Valor branded Discord panel and the Guilds of WoW panel on your streams. Be in the guild and an active member of the Discord, and then attend those monthly stream team meetings and open to collaborations with the other streamers. As most of you, or not most, but some of you would know, we have done collaborations with games in the past, such as Dungeon Defenders, where they gave us a bunch of codes, and each team was based on one of the streamers. So we had Team But Did You Die against Team Jet, against some of the other teams, and I'm sorry, against some of the other streamers. We are really excited to do something like that again. And I've reached out to Dungeon Defenders to see if they'd be interested, as well as some other games. So if you have some ideas on that, if anybody is interested in being part of the stream team, you can now apply under the team application under server guide, the same way that you would apply for a mentor or any of the competitive teams. And then again, that list of perks and benefits is listed there, but we will also get this out to you in the Discord right after this town hall so that you'll be able to view all of those. Team Valor Ant, I'm happy to do that. It's been brought up a million times for the meme. But if you're going to be Team Valor Ant, then you have to beat Mew in a 1v1 in order to have it. That's the rule. All right, we'll go to the next slide. So for those of you who've been here a while, and for all the new members coming in, our Valor content. We have various social media platforms that we are active on, including now Blue Sky. We would love for you to follow us. We post regular guides, spotlights. We have, different series that we do, such as this and that, or questions from our Who Wants to Be a Goblinaire series. So drop us a follow, tell your friends. We're trying to grow our social media reach. Pitt's going to post those links there. We would love for you to follow. And we're also excited to announce that we're going to continue working on various content series throughout 2025. That includes the Who Wants to Be a Goblinaire series. If you haven't seen that, please check that out. We're 3 episodes in now. I think 3 or 4 recorded, ready to go as soon as we get the editing done. We're going to be doing a themed pet battle show with the pet battle tournament folks that Nemo is working on. And then also a new series called The Rundown, which is, I don't want to give too much away, but it's themed around Mythic Plus. So we're happy to get that shared out to you as soon as we have more details. And then obviously we would love to do a Valor podcast. So if you are interested in being involved with any of those, please open up a mod ticket or let us know. The Know Me podcast, I'm in. All right, let's go to that next slide. All right, we are also doing the Stack Up 2025 Call to Arms. So this is a chance for us to raise money and to support U.S. and allied veterans by promoting positive mental health and combating veteran suicide through gaming and geek culture with their 4 pillar programs: the supply crates, air assaults, the stacks, and the Overwatch program. You can find out more about Stack Up at stackup.org, as well as we have a donation page available that Pitt just posted. If you'd like to donate on behalf of Valor, we would really, really appreciate that. There's various other organizations as well that do stuff that's similar, but we work really closely with Stack Up. Been friends of theirs for quite a while. We went to PAX East with them and got to hang out. Cool. If we can go to the next slide. And then we're also excited. We announced this in the last town hall, but we will be doing a Valor meetup at PAX East this May, as well as at the 30th anniversary for Warcraft during their world tour. The locations haven't been announced other than in Boston for the Warcraft tour. I have a pretty good feeling that it's going to be at the same convention center as PAX East during the same weekend. Can't imagine that they're going to do it anywhere else. Maybe they are, but if anybody is in that area or is able to make it out, we would love to meet up. For those of you who are planning to go, if you want to get your Valor merch, I'd get that ordered now so that you make sure you have it in time. That's just shop.vlrgaming.com or the link that Pitt just posted. So I know myself's going. We also have a section in the Discord if somebody could link that for the meetup. Yep, so we got a bunch of people that are going. There should be at least 10 of us, if not more. Really excited to get to meet everybody. I will be providing ice cream for those who show up. All right, if we can go to the next slide. So again, the Valor merch, for those of you who want to show off your Valor pride, we've got various different jerseys, t-shirts, flags. There's a bunch of different stuff on there. And then hopefully coming soon, our plan is to add some additional Valor Guy mascot designs, some posters, a baseball jersey, which we know has been requested, updated high-resolution team stickers. One thing we didn't go over is some of the teams are going to be changing their names. So as soon as we have those team names done and the logos created, we'll get those stickers back on the shop like they were before. And then as well as, like I said, team merch and posters. We had some ideas for that we're excited to share with you as soon as we can. And I'm going to bring Catastrophic in to go over the few more slides here. We can go to the next slide as well.
Yeah, so there are many ways to support Valor, both financially and not. One of those financial ways is through supporting in the Discord through the server shop at the top. You can see the different tiers on the right side there, but each town hall, we just like to shout out everybody who has been a supporter for the past month. So Alchemist, Archangel, Fluffy, Mama Bear, K Diddy, Nick, Pitt, Oddby, Z, Yang, Jet, and Prophet. At the Spartan level, at the Elite, we have Nomi, Recon, and Tycosa. And then at the Titan level, we have Milk and Sick. Thank you guys so much. Again, all these funds go back directly into running Valor through website costs and upkeep, Discord improvements, giveaways, events, a lot of things that might go unseen, stocking the guild bank, lots of things like that. So again, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. You do get some cool perks, which you can see both in the server shop and on the right side there. Some things that we are still working on is the kind of little stat report that we'll be putting out that kind of gives you a behind the scenes look of a lot of the hidden not hidden, but not so obvious information about Valor. You get some emotes at the higher levels of the officers, which we've been working on getting those updated and added new fun emotes and just a lot of different perks as well. Another way to support that we don't necessarily mention as much as maybe we should is just straight guild donations to the guild bank, whether that's through mats or gold. That goes a long way to helping with those repair costs, with the new team structures. So that is always welcome and appreciated as well. And then again, just shouting out the merch shops that we have. We have our partnership with Arma, who are the same people who do like methods, jerseys, that sort of thing, as well as our own native shop that we will be continually adding new designs to. So again, thank you so much for all your support. It means a lot. It helps us continue to operate and continue to add new things for the community. Additionally, we partner with a lot of organizations that you can see on the screen right now to bring more things to the community. So either that's through discount codes or new technology, things like that. So here's just a small list of partners that we have currently. We also like to support charitable causes such as Stack Up, which we've talked about a lot today. Dungeon Dojo, Make-A-Wish, Trevor Project are all organizations that we've worked with in the past. And a lot of companies and employers offer time off for volunteering, called VTO. If that's something you're interested in, we're more than happy to help you look into some gaming related organizations that you can get some volunteer time off on, and how you could go about working with your employer to get that time off. So if that's something that interests you, open up a mod ticket and we're more than happy to kind of assist in any way we can.
Perfect. We'll go to that next slide. All right. So that concludes the February town hall. Our next town hall topics we're going to go over are website enhancements, some new supporter perks, transmog and social in-game events and meetups, some general Discord cleanup that we're going to be doing, and then the Valor Fellowship, which is a secret new raid team that a few of you know about, but not very many of you, and that's all the details that I'm giving you. Has nothing to do with the Fellowship game. We'll tell you that. So again, thank you for your time and continued dedication to Valor. Welcome in all the new Falsify members. We're excited to have you here. Please use this time. Ask any questions that you guys have. If you're in game, we are going to start collecting the screenshots. So please put away any pets, toys, any craziness that's going on. Line up on the stairs where we're at. If you need an invite, please let us know so we can get that end of season 1 screenshot